everybody, thanks a lot for joining us. Should be a really good stream tonight. Sorry I keep you waiting a little bit longer there. Just had to get the final tweets and messages out and whatnot as well. I do have some family staying with me tonight, first and foremost, so if you do hear an unusual amount of background noise, I can only apologise. I've got the suspend background noise stuff on the mic and all that kind of stuff, so we'll see how it all pans out. Just going to double check that actually while I'm talking to you. I did yeah, it's fine. I did the Twitter Spaces earlier today, and we had some great chat about the AMA. I managed to record it on my software and everything as well. That video went out earlier today, so I think it's on for about 50 minutes or so. I've not timestamped it or anything yet. I don't know if I'll get the chance to, but it's definitely worth a passive listen, I would say, if nothing else. If some guys come up and we kind of shoot the shit and talk about some of the topics, which was good fun. And again, more than happy to dive into any more of it in any more detail with you guys, because there's always stuff I miss that you pick up on, and sometimes it's vice versa. But I must say, the two things staring me right in the face is we've got two more members into the member section. The first stream you guys will be seeing, we're going live again with the stream tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it is the 20th, maybe the 21st, but I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow. I'll double check the community tab. So what you do if you're a member is you go into the main channel and there's a bunch of tabs like playlists and videos, whatever. You click on community tab, and then depending on what level of member you're on, whether it's the wee one or the bigger one, you will see all the relevant information you need to get involved in the stream and make sure you're there on time and make sure you can actually watch it once it's been live and catch it after the fact. But we welcome first and foremost Mark Hudson. Fist bump to you, thanks a lot my man. And Shrew 1886AA. I'm still trying to work out if this is the Shrewsbury guy that we had in the live chat who just started his account and he's maybe metamorphosized into Shrew 1886, or if there is two Shrews and Shrewsbury's accounts or whatever on the channel. But I noticed a comment from somebody earlier on today. Their little icon has went yellow, which means they've been here since the beginning on the member section. So love seeing, yeah, I see Robert Turner, there he is, Robert and Evan and Misaki, their wee icons have went yellow. So yeah, great times guys, great times. Life is so good. How good was the AMA guys? I was trying to keep on like neutral face and everything earlier on when I was doing my kind of first reaction and my first passing over it, because you're still trying to make your mind up and really assess what was spoken about and what wasn't. I've not actually had much of a chance to do anything since that recording, basically, in terms of looking into the AMA and whatever. But I think most of the main things were on the surface. You know, you didn't really need to dig too deep into the answers and the session to really work out you know, what the main benefits are and the main kind of hot points for most of us will be. Mark Hudson does ask, is that the best 99p's ever spent? I hope so, mate. I hope so. I think it's going to be a great member section. You'll definitely get bang for your buck out of that straight away. It's actually funny because the system we use in the member section, I was listening to Professor Techers, he was everywhere this week, wasn't he? He was in John's stream and Hybe's really great account. First time hearing from him, I was actually really impressed with everything he had to say. But one thing I did notice is he's talking about using the same stuff that we use in the member section. So, you know, that guy won the one-shot league, you know, so there's stuff there. I've not quite figured out to the best of my ability. We kind of do that together, but we'll get there, guys, bit by bit. Misaki, love the props, thank you very much. Same with Shrew, we're all loving it, brilliant guys, I love it. Evening Robert, good to see you my man. Evan, good to see you, good evening. Yes way Jose is in the house. Yes way Jose, you won a card this week, didn't you, or something? I remember you coming out with something really positive last time I seen your name. Evening Mikey boy, make sure you hit that like button guys, of course. Morts is in the house now. Morts, I've got to say pal, I was a wee bit gutted. I seen, was it Football Economist did an amazing thread. I put out a tweet saying bookmark this and it's like fixture difficulty, and I thought that was Morts's gig, that was Morts's, you know, parlour trick if you like, you know. So Morts, wait, what's happening? Are you going to get back on the horse, or was it just too much? Because I know it is very time consuming making any level of content, especially strategic level content like that. It did lack a big wow, Misaki, you're definitely right. But the new scaling solution is good. The two new leagues is enormous. You've nailed the word there, I love that, enormous. I think a lot of people are disappointed that we're not getting a lot of the new scarcity. Well, I think I kind of touched on it in that thing. We've kind of known that the gatekeeper to the Academy League, the new scarcity, all these kind of things is within the scaling solution. So it's not a chicken and egg situation. It is very clearly defined. We need that first before these other things can can be delivered to the level that they should be. And I love their discipline in that respect. I'm sure they've done as much work as possible in lieu, so that as soon as once that scaling solution clicks into place, they're already 60% down the road, 70%, 80%. Made it sound they weren't really that far away with some of their wording. Maybe they're 95% away. I think it'll come as soon as it's practical, really. But I think you're right. There was no big wow. But I think like 2 new leagues. One isn't even covered yet in SO5. We later learn through a Discord interaction with Dan and someone. That is mental. So it's got to be China, the Scottish Prem, or the English Championship. I think we have to be getting one of them. I can't, because they've snuck it into an AMA. It might be something obscure like the Colombian League or something, because that is actually scored on SoRare. I wonder if how easy it is to actually pull up the coverage page. I'm just going to close all the social media stuff. Sorry. So let's. I'm on the main website real quickly. I'm just going to see. Because I found. How did I? Was it in here? Where did I go earlier on? Coverage, yeah. So I was looking at the licensed clubs for a video recently, so yeah, let's just get this little page on, we'll have a look at it together. Right, so this is the current coverage, okay? So we're looking for flags, okay? China, check. Anyone else that we don't have a footprint in yet? Now, there's the Colombian League, 2. Brazil, we have a footprint in. So yeah, they're the only 2. Scotland isn't here, Scotland is there, 3. And the English Premier League is there. The Championship doesn't seem to be listed, but we do know that it has Europa League playoffs, Europa League, Champions League, World Cup qualification, Europe and South America. Oh, is there no World Cup qualification, European Championship, Copa America? Oh, I was kind of hoping there was going to be some African World Cup qualifiers, to be honest with you. But in any case, so we've got 4 potentials there. Now, I did hear someone say, or I read someone say, that they think it might be like France or something. And I don't know if France would come on as a league per se, because I think, or it might have been in that Twitter Spaces thing I was doing, somebody might have said that. And the thing with Spaces is, I didn't mute it, that's a long story, but I think they'll do something similar to what they did with Italy, where they'll just on board like 4 minnows in a whack, and just get them on. I think that's the way those kind of main divisions will rock, because it is, for the top end clubs, they'll be negotiating their own deals. They're not going to be involved in the club repertoire, if you like, and some of those clubs at the bottom are maybe new to a division or likely to be kicked out of it, through relegation. So, I think they'll all be kind of ad hoc licenses versus something like the Austrian League, the Australian League, the Danish League. I'm trying to think of other ones that are kind of halfway decent, that aren't currently covered at the moment. I think Greece is a decent shout, I suppose. Maybe they get the rest of Turkey. Maybe that's possible. And I think Dinamo Zagreb is one of those clubs. I'd put them alongside Salzburg in terms of those not minnow, that's the wrong word, sorry, those rural clubs that do have a great footprint and a great kind of production line for this type of game. What's your thoughts on who could the new leagues be, in terms of the one that is currently scored in SO5 and one that isn't? Just let me know, guys. We'll chat that out. You podiumed, that's what it was. Yes, way, Jose. But you missed the star rare. Great memory. You are the only person that said that to me, Jose, in I forget how long. Oh, you laugh at your own jokes, are not funny, are they? He can do it. I don't have the time, mate. Fair play, Morrissey boy. Fair play. Passes the mantle on. Shrew is delighted that he won a card. I'm delighted with the card I won from the underdog competition they held. Oh, brilliant! Did you win something from that, Shrew? Fantastic. I'm never really big on the Discord games because I'm not on Discord as often as when I first opened my account. I was on Discord like 24/7, but I'm actually just never on Discord anymore. It's not through any real reason. It just doesn't happen. So congratulations, Shrew. What card was it? Even Quinny, Moldy Boy, good to see you. And everyone was catching up on the digest, I guess. I missed the ping, sorry pal, no problem. Hendo is in the house. Hendo, have you recorded the pod with John? Was it good fun? How did you find it? Championship is listed at the top. Oh, is it Mikey? Mikey boy always catches everything I drop. Oh, it's right at the top, isn't it? Doy! Good catch, Mikey. I hope to God we get the SPFL. Roscoe will be really happy. Hendo will be happy you gave it its proper name there, Malky. Congratulations. I'll be spending all my money on Celtic cards, mate. Join the queue. If Celtic come on, like, I really don't know. Oh, I really don't know what I would be doing, because like I'm not terribly liquid at the moment. I've just locked in some other key positions. I'll talk through some cards I've done and stuff like that as well, as we rock on tonight. But yeah, Celtic and Rangers would be amazing for the platform. I don't really want Rangers on, but you know. Good evening. Yes, Chris. Honestly, like if I hear any more about this Roof and Sakala, I will need to question our friendship. To be honest with you, it's like trolling, man. Imagine the championship and getting the top four teams. I know. Like the thing with the championship is it's a real short-term backdoor into the Prem. Um, I think the championship is a massive untapped resource well in this space, because even if you think back to Football Index and Footstock, that hardcore fans of championship teams will have seen it and thought, oh, maybe we'll get some action of that soon, and it never ever came. SoRare has it open, but we just don't have the tools yet, you know. So I think honestly all those clubs are massive that are in the championship. The championship is, like, I know this kind of get banded about a while ago and get poo-pooed, but it is kind of like a Premier League 2, you know. You look at all the clubs in the championship, and in my lifetime they have all been in the top flight at some stage, bar maybe the odd exception here and there, maybe 2 or 3 clubs at the most. And some of them are like Nottingham Forest, have got great pedigree throughout Europe, and we've had Villa and some other big clubs down there. So anyway, I think championship would be the primo get. XMK, make you totally right there. The Czech league, well, the Czech under 23s league is amazing for over 2.5 goal betting or whatever. But the Czech, like, you've got both the Pragues and then Pilsen, you know. Are they on Shakhtar level? That's what I'm trying to, when I was doing that Challenger video and I was scrolling over the map, that's just what I kept thinking when I was naming some of these clubs. I'm like, these guys aren't even on the Shakhtar level, so why would they go and pick them up, you know? Some guys want the Ukrainian league to come on board as the scored, you know, the non-scored league. I can see why, you know, there's a lot of Shakhtar cards about, and the guys that have been on them should have some sort of reward to reap, not other than European football. But I would be a wee bit disappointed by that because there's not much in the Ukrainian league as far as I'm concerned or aware. The Shrewsbury Wolf, there you're there. Okay, so there's either two of these, the Shrewsbury Wolf in 1886, or you're the same person. I think you're different people. Joshy Forth is in the house. Crazy SoRare Day, it definitely has been. I've had a good day. I've been non-stop, man. Putting out a post between real work and this work and barbecues and kids and family staying over and whatever. You won a Demiral. Oh, shrew, that is a pickup, by the way. I was chatting to my pal earlier on about Allegri at Juve, and see if Allegri goes to a back three, Chiellini isn't long left at the top level, right? And even if he does like play, he will like, probably primarily start, but his starts will be few and far between. He is getting on. He didn't really play. I don't think he played at all last season with that ACL injury or whatever it was he got. So anyway, if Allegri goes back three, it could be Bonucci, Demiral, and De Ligt, and that could be SO5 wise a tasty back three. Another thing I'll say as well, and I'm only going to say this because I'm definitely not going to be buying them, but I've not investigated it, so I might be a wee bit off. But when I was thinking about this and I was having this chat earlier on, Alexandro could be the new Danilo, if you like, you know, because Alexandro has been amazing at Juve. Hasn't really done it since he's been on SoRare as far as I can see, really. Danilo was definitely the card to have, but I think under Allegri, if Sandro stays there and he's not getting any crazy injury I'm not aware of, or some bad situation that would put the fly in the ointment, I think Sandro could be a really amazing card this season. And if he does kick on, does he go back in as Brazil's left back? Qatar, you know, there's some angles there, so I'm not going to be buying them, but hey, something for one of you to maybe investigate further if you're in the market for a Euro champion defender potentially. But Demiral is a great buy, Shrew. The Shrews are talking to each other, that's cool. Pod was good fun, mate. SPFL is the dream hendo. You can say that again, my man. And then I think you guys are all just chatting about Wolves and stuff. The championship is very competitive and we need its own division. Putting the championship into the Euro Challenger really does fatten it up. Now, we've got a dynamic reward structure, so even that coming into play, like, I don't know, I think there would be a lot of cards that would be dominant, you know, because I don't really know how it would work, but if you imagine you onboarded another 24 teams from the championship that do have like full complementary 25-man squads, you know, a lot of them are on big money wage budgets, you know, in terms of the squads because of the finances they generate being at that level, and with some of them having parachute payments over the years, maybe, you know, like we mentioned a minute ago with the championship, a lot of them are ex-prem, you know, so they will have some money in their coffers to some extent. Yeah, it's definitely big enough to contain itself in its own region, I suppose, but I would definitely like the option to play some cards, because I think if you open them into Challenger, the reward pool could go all the way to like 700 places. You know, with stars, tier 1, tier 2, you know, all that stuff. And also that was another thing in the AMA that I don't think we spoke about the digest, but they did intimate that the tiers are getting looked at also, to be recalibrated and stuff. It might not have actually been in the AMA, but they have kind of spoke about that recently as well. So imagine that. Imagine the dynamic reward structure moving with the championship on board in 24 teams. What's 24 times 25? Any mathematicians at home? That's how many new players would be coming onto the platform. That's backup goalkeepers. That's youth goalkeepers. That's first choice goalkeepers. That's Ethan Horvath. Whatever one he'll be. Definitely not youth, of course. Simo's in the house. Good to see you, my man. David Hanko. I'm not sure who that is. But anyway, I will progress with the stream, guys, as I normally do. So this game week, guys, I've got to say we've done well. The hassle play is paid off 2 weeks in a row. I've got a really tough decision with hassle for the next game week, and I guess we'll come to that. But I'm picking up another super rare. It's a tier 3. I've already looked at the pool. I guess we'll look at it tonight on the stream. It has got a high chance of being crap, but there's the odd little kind of half diamond in there, so we might get lucky again. Who knows? We're getting a tier 1 from Global, which I think will probably be the best card I pull, and then I'm getting a tier 3 from the All-Star D4. It must be, yeah. So I'll be getting a tier 3 from All-Star, which will also probably be CAC, and then I'm getting my little bit of ETH to give myself a bit of a boost. Now, this game week was actually really sore for my Champion America D3. We finished on 250 points, and we didn't have Higuain play. And look at that team, guys. You know, we were 37 points off of a tier 2. Now, I know the whole board is affected with a lack of New York and Miami players. I accept that, but you know, it's quite feasible. I'd have probably got close to a tier 1, which means I'd have definitely got a tier 2 with Big Hig playing, even if he started, you know, and got his usual kind of score about 40, 50 odd without a goal if he started the match. Then we'd have done 4th this week. But as you can see, so the punted team didn't do anything, which was fine. Eric Lopez played, and at least we got him on the pitch for some fancy training, but none of them played. Titan actually was, if you guys are on MLS cards and you aren't on Twitter, I highly recommend you do this, okay? Because like a lot of the MLS like journals are really good on Twitter. Like they're really good. The Cincinnati one, Laurel Fowler, her name is, or I can't pronounce her name. I'm sorry, but her name's Laurel. I interact with her all the time, so you'll probably see it if you check on my tweets and stuff. But she interviewed Stam, and Stam's kind of acknowledging, yeah, Vermeer's been a bit rocky and all that, but I think the intimation is they will get the next. I don't know. Titan should be, after the guy concedes 5 and the run they've been on of conceding has been incredibly shit, and he is shit. Titan has to come in, man, but it's nowhere near definite. The All-Star D3 was pretty good. Grancier got a nice key pass. Wanyama got like a kind of second assist key pass thing as well. This was just decent, you know, really close to a star rare, and that was just a wee bit of superpower. Super rare firepower was lacking there. Just needed one of these guys, or both of them, to pick up like 10 more points or 5 more points each or something like that, and I think that would have been a wee bit higher up. But hey ho, you know, Wanyama, we know what he is, and Grancier never got the decisive, so those scores are kind of in line. And Wanyama, I think, also did he get booked or something, but you know, Wanyama did okay, to be fair, but we didn't get any good scores out of the super rares to really carry us over the line there. But with a failure being a tier 1 rare, that's not a bad place to be, is it? And then this little team came in pretty well. I've sold Steve Clark. Have I sold anyone from this team? No, I've not. Steve Clark is no longer with the club. I sold him for 0.15, and then I bought Jesse Mulan, who's been announced as being the Troyes goalkeeper, which, you know, that Troyes is like, or Troy, I don't know how to say it. Someone give me the French pronunciation so I can get it right, but they are part of CFG, City Football Group, so this guy, and I think they've bought him to play him, they've just been promoted, whatever. So I've sold one guy that's 33 for 0.15, and then bought this other guy who's 35 at 0.08, so I've creamed off a wee bit of ETH, and I've got the same kind of goalkeeper, but one's in Champion Europe versus Champion America, and that ETH actually went towards something else that I'll maybe tell you about in a wee minute. Farfan did well, Brad Smith did well, Zella Ryan done his decisive, which was great, and Usami did what Usami does, so hey, that was okay. But I did, you know, seeing this score from Clark did make me shed a wee tear when he was on his way out the door when I sold him, but at least he's picked up a little bit of ETH. And, you know, guys, goalkeepers like this are very much underrated, you know, like, even if the starting goalkeeper you pick up is 33, 35, look what this guy's won me, 5 cards, it cost me a pit, you can see here, What did I get him for on auction? 0.22, and I've sold him for 0.15. In fiat terms, that's definitely a profit. Because when did I get him? July? No, that's when I sold him. August last year, you know, so there's no way. Yeah, yeah. And he's won me a Bedoya, he's won me a Will Trap. Both of them have been sold on or moved on. Rayo J Moon the same, Diego Chara the same, Gutman the same. And then he's picked up with the ETH this week, 0.06. So that's been a great little card. 33-year-old goalkeeper, I definitely wouldn't be turning my nose up at those cards. Youth goalkeepers are great, but it's goalkeepers that plays what you want, you know. Stefan is in the house, good to see you, my man. Boom. Alex Dobbins, I pray Titan comes in. Paid 0.264 for him. Oh, what a dick, man. I know, like, he started the season, you know, it wasn't until they signed this Vermeer, like, and he was doing okay. They were still conceding goals and whatever, but he was making good saves. He was very brave. He didn't do a whole lot wrong, and he just brought this Vermeer prick in. And Vermeer was the fucking pain in my arse last year because of Cisniga. Cisniga's made his own problems this year by letting a 20-year-old take his spot. But that's a story for another day. The striker I ended up buying after the stream was Cameron Harper, and then I thought, shit, I should have just bought. You know, I was talking about Dom Dwyer. He ended up starting the game. I should have bought Dom Dwyer, but it wouldn't have made a difference anyway because Morgan never got on the pitch. But what I noticed when I got this Harper, and I paid fuck all for him, he's not really worth anything, right? He used to play for Celtic, never made an appearance, I don't think. But this little card was a shirt, it was a jersey number. You know, it was a 17 of 100, and it's number 17. So I thought, oh, why not? And you know, the game week wouldn't have done anything with this team anyway because Morgan hit a big sweaty 0 for his Miami situation with the weather. And then this is the team that let up, guys. I told you this was the week to back Montreal. I said it. Now, I'm not going to lie, guys, when they were like 4-0 down or whatever, I was thinking what a terrible call that is. But Toy had scored some goals that I think, and I was like, yeah, well, at least my guy scored, so I'm kind of still on the money. But wow, they came back in a big way. Mason Toy is talk of the town. What a card. What a rare to have in D2. Who would have played a rare in D2, eh? Who would have done that? This guy here. And it's just, you know, Cabral never quite got decisive for us. And Acevedo gets subbed off at 66 and he got booked. And before all that happened, he was on before multiplier, like 52, 54, something like that. So he could have done a little bit better and we might have just creeped up. You know, it was so close. Kessler played amazing. And I didn't see Cabral. And Cabral was captain, so that kind of let us down a little bit. If I'd captained Acevedo, they got a little bit more points in reality, and then if Acevedo got the 90, the captain choice should have been Kessler. It cannot be Toy. You cannot captain the rare in this situation if you're not aware. Dom didn't do much. Dom Dwyer, yeah, I know he gets subbed off for Josie, but he did started at least, you know, and I didn't have that feeling. And but yeah, I'm not holding my breath on Dom Dwyer. I'm not saying go and buy him, guys. Don't think that's a tip or anything. I bought 2 Alberto Paleri. Nice. Sounds like a good move. Who does he play for? Let's even just punch his wee name in. Let's have a peek. Stefan. Let's get your guy some airtime. Pagliari. I think I've spelled it right. Nope. Let's have a peek. Alberto Pagliari. Oh, do you know what? Oh, no. The goalkeeper for, like, Verona has moved to Udinese. Silvestri or something. So there's a wee change. Wow, this guy's scores are fucking good, man. You've got 2. It's not even that, dear. Why are his scores so good? Oh, he's only played 1 game. But hey, man, you know, it was game week 168. It was the last game of the season. Okay, well, maybe they're bringing him. Well, he's 28. Oh, wow. Well. It's hard to. It's really hard to go off that, I mean, but I hope it pays off for you. You know, it's a starting goalkeeper potentially. If that's the situation, then if you got him for these kind of prices, then it's hard for it not to pay off, I suppose. Buy Josie. I'm not buying Josie. I've got the man coming back into the fold now with this game week. But again, guys, there's nothing usually coming out with AMA stuff. If you do want to talk about that, then feel free, just drop it in the live chat, of course. But with this game week, guys, the story that is in the real fantasy football world right now is all about Joseph. It's all about Atlanta. Now, before coming on the stream tonight, you'll find it on YouTube, on the Atlanta YouTube channel, but there's a 6-minute interview with the interim manager, and this guy, I'm telling you this now, I'm going to do a close-up for this, right? This guy is playing Joseph Martinez. It's definitely happening. There's no two ways about it, so I need to get Joseph into an OP team. I've got PSV playing, so I've got the Sangar and Teze pair to come back. I've got a Jetty looking to start in Parkhead, European, and I've got a full MLS contingent which will include Joseph. Japan, nothing to mention from me. Mexico and China, nothing to mention from me. So it's mainly MLS with a little sprinkle of Europe for me. And I don't have any K-League guys, do I? No, I don't. So it's going to be a really good midweeker. Now, the first conundrum I've got, guys, right, is the Thomas Hassel. Now, the Thomas Hassel was brought in exclusively to go into D3, D2 under 23s throughout this entire Gold Cup period for as long as Canada are in it, right? He's got me prices 2 weeks in the bounce in under 23s, right? This is actually what I want to check. I'm going to do this as I'm talking. How did I do it for this way again? So 5, Gameweek Centre. So what I want to see is the scores that picked up wins in All-Star D2 compared to under 23 D2. So All-Star D2 this game week, at the top we're at 447, and let's say top 10 is probably what I'm interested in, 350. And this was probably a busier game week than what we're coming into, I think, because we had some more Asian action. 418 at the top, and then top 10 is definitely a bit easier, 291. With my 340 I'd have still been in amongst it. So what are the prizes paying out for Global All-Star? For Global All-Star D2, there's 83 people in it so far, and for me to get a tier 2 super rare, which is basically the pinnacle of the under 23s region at the moment, it would be top 10. I would still get kinda, I just don't have that under 23 element, which actually, yeah, I'm not actually too worried about that, because if I look at the prize pool of what I could win, under tier 3 under 23s are naff, mostly from what I can see in the pool at the moment. But a tier 3 global, I've always got a wee bit more faith in that, because the global region is uninhibited. It is every card in the game, so in which case the tiers should be filled up more with more variety, and there's always the chance that you get something that's decent, you know, for the pool. So I think I'm actually just going to keep with All-Star D2 with the hassle, because having that super rare goalkeeper, there's only really the American leagues that are on. There's not going to be too many goalkeepers going, and with the power of Joseph up front, I think I can blast my way to the top of this league, because I think with everything that's went on, they're away to Cincinnati, of all clubs, they're away to Cincinnati, and if he banged in a hat-trick, I would not be surprised. After the way things have went, football is all about stories and drama and soap opera-like elements, you know, and it would not surprise me one iota. So let's say Joseph drops an 80, right, and he's my captain, so I'm getting an extra, like, you know, 50% on top. That's like 120 to 130 just for him. So we're then left with, like, let's just call it 300 between the other 4 guys. I think we can get scores of 75, including multiplier, as an average across those guys. Medina's in good form. Montreal can't concede. Grand Sierra away to Salt Lake, that could be good. And Vancouver are at home to Houston, so it's probably the best fixture for Vancouver. Let's actually have a wee double check of that, because Houston, I think they've been quietly okay. I've actually not paid attention to Houston at all this year. As I'm saying that, I'm thinking I better kind of fact check myself, because I've been relatively anonymous Houston. I can't actually remember any of my teams that I follow through the cards I own playing Houston, actually, so I better double check this. Dare I say podium dangerous? Evan Creightley, dare you say it? Yes, you do. I think it is, guys. Is Hassel out of his depth here? You know, should I really be playing him in U23 and just trying to win the thing? Because I do, alternative to Joseph is a super rare. Like, I've got Eric Lopez, who will probably play. I've got Cabral, who will play, and Cabral's got a good fixture, you know. I was thinking about playing Cabral up here, but then, again, sorry, you probably hear a wee bit of the fan, just going to bed and whatnot, so sorry. So I do have, like, a very capable under 23 outfit that could go out. Let's mock it out, right? Hold on, I'm going to look at the price pool one more time, right? So, All-Star D2, the pinnacle, right? If we win the fucking thing, we're getting a tier 1 super rare, and just underneath, right? That is fucking sexy. Second place is pretty fucking good as well. Third place, the ETH makes it a podium spot, I think, really. The tier 2, as long as you're at the top end of the tier, I suppose that could be acceptable. And we're getting that kind of treatment all the way down to 10th, and then to 26th. So that's a good portion. I think we're quite safe of getting a tier 3. regardless. And then in this one, up to 12 out of 33. So, but at the top, we still do have that tier 1 action, but we just don't. And it's the ETH. The ETH's so much less. And if Joseph was to unlock a big score, yeah, I'm going global, guys. I'm going global. Now, I've went with the Grand Seer and the Medina in midfield because I think they're two midfielders that can get 60 points for me. They can get an assist and or a goal. Outside of the Grand Seer and the Medina, I've still got guys like Acevedo. I've still got Acevedo. And I think Wanyama. Yeah, Wanyama we're playing. Yep, there's Wanyama. So I've got, where I'm really limited this game week for super rares, of course I've only really got Hassel unless I gambled on Titan in this league, or I played a rare up here. Now the problem is if I play a rare goalkeeper, I then only have one U23 super rare defender, which is Kessler. Or in fact, do I have any rare ones that would do well up at that level potentially? I've got no, Segura's not U23 anymore. Farfan's away to Portland. That's a dicey game. T&Cs? I don't think I want to fuck about this. I think I'm maybe risking overthinking this. Sorry guys, I just noticed my phone's not on do not disturb. I'm getting wee pings and pops and it's distracting me. I think I'm maybe bordering on overthinking this, but that's what I'm going for. Let's just mock up. Let's pretend that I put a rare goalkeeper in there and I use the Hassel over here and I use a rare defender if that's possible. Let's mock it up and see what it looks like. So I've got the Hassel, and then I could put T&Cs up here because T&Cs could do really well. So let's see, we put the T&Cs in. He's on a good multiplier as well, by the way, 10.5%. It's not to be sniffed at. And then in midfield I've got Acevedo, and that's it. Okay, so I've got Acevedo, and then up front I've got two strikers. Okay. Whoa. Do you know what? I really like the look of that team. Now that's seeing it lay out. I think I would have to captain Cabral just because I think Chicharito might be back for this game. Or do I want to captain Lopez? Because if he's around Joseph, it's not as certain to start but Lopez because it is an interim manager now, so actually it does look like a good team, but doesn't it? Matty boy, evening, good to see you. Hoping for an Opta adjustment to bump me up a place for D2 podium. Connor Ross, good luck to you, man. D2 Challenger rewards. Oh, how do they look? I don't think I'm going to run with that, guys. Eric Lopez is making me a bit scared, and I don't have an alternative that's a banker that I could run in there. It would make me feel better. Is Challenger open? Yeah, Challenger is open. I don't have any goalkeepers or anything for it. Let's see the prize pool. The D4 level. Challenger D4 down to 8th out of 106 teams. That is shit. Are you joking? Is this sarcasm I'm getting? Yeah, wow, the Challenger. Oh, D2. Let's have a look at D2. Oh, only 7 entrants. It's just really ETH prizes, isn't it? That wouldn't really excite me, Josh, unfortunately, mate. But a high chance of winning, I suppose. What's the special weekly? Oh, I've got a special weekly team out this game week as well. I forgot all about that. So D3, what have I went for? I went with the Acevedo and the Cabral along with Sangar, the man, Josh Mensah. I'm thinking, where did I put the T&Cs? It must be in D4 down here. I think I'm going to pair them up just to, I don't know why I didn't do that in the first place. I think I think I'd use Sangar as a rare in the first draft of the D2. Where is T&Cs? Let's search him. Boom. That's good. And then Acevedo, super rare. Yeah, I'm happy he'll get me like the 50 to 60 odd at home in Montreal. He's in good form. That's a good match for him. But saying that, last time they played Montreal, him and Wanyama both got like 45 or something like that. Yeah, they played each other quite recently. But I think Acevedo's in good fettle, and I'm happy to back him in a big team because I know I'll get a decent churn out of him in terms of SO5. And I think that might be it. don't think I have any other D3 level teams out. I'm just trying if there's anyone that came up from when I was messing about with going double D2 that stood out. But yeah, okay, cool. So happy with that. It's actually, without the goalkeeper, that's a really good U23 team, really, isn't it? And I think we put Mensa into this, don't we? Yeah, let's put Mensa in there. Pop, pop, pop. And that's what I'm doing for D4. I'm just kind of, I don't know how well a Jetty will do, and these other guys are all quite safe. They'll get me ETH and maybe pick up a card while I'm on the way if they all play and stuff. So yeah, I'm happy to put the Mensa down there and swap them around for the T&Cs. That works for me. So let's check. I think that must be all the super. I'm just trying to think. Eric Lopez hasn't got a team yet, has he? Yeah, but I'm happy to sideline Eric Lopez because I don't know, because Joseph is coming in. He should see the way Atlanta have been playing. They should just be taking that Torres guy out and putting Martinez in. The rest of Moreno's look good. I think Lopez has not really done much. He scored early on, looked good in his finish and whatever. Mulroney's looked okay, I thought. I think they're okay. They just need Joseph up there, but the guy might make a fair future. He might revert back to the way they played like 2 seasons ago or something. For all we know, that coach has been there. The guy that's on at Atlanta, he's been there like 6 years or something. He was saying. So he's in with the brickwork. Champion America. Oh, I've went D3. Okay, cool. So if I put Eric Lopez, yeah. Oh, brilliant. I've put him out with Wanyama. So I'm confident he'll get minutes, I suppose. So I've made this selection. But I think this is, yeah, I'm not really holding my breath on this team. It gets Mason and Toy out on the pitch. A Jetty will definitely play Connor, I think. He's played all of pre-season, and Anga Postecoglou seems to like him. He wore the captain's armband for a friendly as well, and he's looked good. And a Jetty was good last season. He just got a few niggles and injuries. Maybe fell out with Lennon as well, who knows. But I'm going D3 with Champion America, and this is what I'm throwing out. Basically the best cards I've got left, and I think they're decent enough to do some damage, especially. Well, again, I'm kind of hedging against my NYC players here by having the Montreal guys together. Because I think if Montreal do well, Wanyama and Toy are 2 of the guys that are going to be primed to get a good SO5 score. And then the special weekly, I've pretty much just managed to get another what would be like an America's team without any super rares in it. But I've went with the big names. I'm dropping in Galese. Danny Wilson maybe not as a big name, but he can be good on SO5. Zella Ryan, Pozuelo, and Carlos Vela. So hopefully the special weekly reaps some rewards for me. I'm fucking buzzing. I'm putting a lot of big cards in there just because I thought, do you know what? I can just put all these guys together and it's much more exciting. It's 282 entrants, but if we get right up in amongst this fucking super rare categories, if we got top 10 or something like that, then for a bunch of rares to be picking this up would be pinnacle for me. It would be an amazing game week, an amazing situation. And I don't actually have much of a need for them anywhere else because of like Sangar and Teze and the super rares I've got knocking about. There's no real kind of need one for them. George Campbell gets 71. Nice. Alex, I noticed UCL PSV Gala game night before is something what? I missed your question here. Are the UEFA Europa League conference qualification games on the 22nd on SO5? I don't think they are yet. I think we'll get an announcement that they're included. I don't think they'll just sneak it on. I think they'll make a good kind of attempt to give us forewarning that this is coming on. I think it will be coming from the I think the fact, because what was it they said? The loan system, for example, they said that's not even on the drawing board now. We're not even talking or thinking about that. But when that question came up, they did say, listen, we are actually making moves on that already as we speak. Basically, I'm paraphrasing. So the next video I record is going to be looking at the teams from like the main top the main European teams that are involved in this season that we might have a hand to benefit from, in terms of maybe some cards you own or some clubs that are licensed or will be licensed. I think that's about the size of it, guys. The D2, Evan said it, I've repeated it, it's podium dangerous. I think, what do you think? Is there any of these, would you drop Medina or Grand Seer? I don't think any of their positions are really debatable at this point. Would you play Joseph? Would you captain Joseph? What would you do? 'Cause this is my best team that's going out. Am I missing an obvious trick here? I don't necessarily care about stacking, so the Grand Seer being at Galaxy and Medina being at NYC, and there's other pieces that they could be stacked with elsewhere, doesn't really bother me, or it's not really something I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about individuals that can get the scores I need, And I think even if Hassel keeps around that 37 mark, let's say Kessler even just does a 50 or something, including multipliers, and getting over 100 between the two of them. I'm confident I can get over 100 with Josef by himself quite comfortably. So that gets me to like 250. So then between these two guys, I just need them to really be getting 70s-ish, and they can do that, especially with the opposition they've got. Just need to be involved in the match and whatever. Medina's kind of shaky for me because I know he's unlikely to get 90 minutes just because of his fitness and the other options that are at the club. That's the only thing that I think has any kind of... And Josef might not get 90 minutes, so I don't think he'll necessarily need it. Would you drop Medina? And if you would drop Medina, who would you put in his place? I don't think there's much more else for me to really go through, guys, if you're not going to be hitting me with AMA stuff and whatever. I was going to check out the the Vancouver and Miami. Vancouver and Houston. Don't know why I was dropping that one there, sorry guys. Head to head. So, yeah, Houston are just drawn with everyone. They can't really get anything over that. So that could be a good fixture for Hassel. Could be the fixture that gets a clean sheet. And if he pulls in a clean sheet, it doesn't even matter what age he is or whatever. And there won't be that many people playing Hassel up at this level, because I think everyone will be doing the move that I've done, which is buy him and exploit him in under 23s, which I've done for the last 2 weeks, which won me 2 cards out of 2. But I think with the Josef, I've got the form that Kessler's showing, I think I've got the pieces to make that attempt. You know, I wouldn't put Eric Lopez or Wanyama in here. I think I would maybe put. Do you know? Should I maybe stack LA up here? Should I maybe put Cabral alongside Josef and drop Medina? That might be a play. As long as it's for the stacking element per se. Suppose it actually does achieve that ultimately, which kind of annoys me, because I like a hodgepodge. I like an eclectic team. You know. Let's look at LA, because I know Ochoa saved a penalty or something like that recently. So the Galaxy against Salt Lake. What does the head-to-head look like? This is a wee pop-up you can't see, okay, but I'll break it down for you. Salt Lake have won 1 game in the last 5. LA are in decent form, but they have lost 2 of the last 3, and that was to the Whitecaps in Kansas. At home, they do concede, Salt Lake, without question. They lost to LAFC 1-0 in their last home match, and they don't necessarily score too much. They scored 3 against the Whitecaps, but that's not really saying much. And LA have not particularly travelled well to good teams and Vancouver, but away at Vancouver they had beaten them previously, and against the Earthquake. So yeah, I think that might be a wee bit safer, by the way, is going to LA in this section here. So I think we're going to drop him, and we're going to promote Cabral, because Cabral's been good for me as well, and yeah, I think I'm doing that. I'm I'm much more comfortable with that team. So I know Grandsir and Cabral are first choice picks, and you know, yeah. And then who have we got here? I can't put Medina in here because I've doubled up in midfield already. So I've taken Cabral away. Would I put Lopez in here? I'm not sure I would, but do you know what, fuck it, let's put Lopez in here. And then I really feel like I'm gambling on my gallery now, but I'm happy with the strength that this adds to that D2, and I think in a roundabout way this D3 gets stronger. Medina being in there, I think that makes that a lot stronger. What's the prize pool like in Champion America? D3. 322 entrants thus far, top 68 gets something. We're getting star rares up to 16th. Wow, that is exciting. And All-Star D3, 800 entrants. Star rares up to 20th. Right, I need to see who's in the star rare global pool. Neymar. Yeah, no, listen. The global pool. Oh, Goretzka. The global pool is. Oh no, it definitely needs to have. The global pool definitely needs to be the strongest one going. So what does that mean? Let's bin this America lineup, okay? Because that is tertiary to this, I would say. The D4 doesn't need altered, I don't think. And I think, do you know what? Let's just bin this from the start, and then we'll dive into it. I think it's going to be, the goalkeeper is going to be the same anyway. I think it's Barraza. Regardless, yeah. So biggest multiplier is this one. In defence, Segura or Teze, but we're going to go Teze, biggest multiplier. The best midfielder to play for this is, I'm probably going to have to go super rare midfield and drop the Sangara. I think that's what's going to happen. So I think we are going to go Acevedo and Medina. And then up front, do we go Toy? Well, that's kind of, I don't really mind that dynamic, to be honest with you, but I did like having him and Wanyama together as a little hedge. I do have Falcao and Higuain. Higuain at home at New England? Nah, no thanks. Johnny Russell at home at San Jose. Oh, there we go. I think that might be. And Chicharito, I don't really want to put him in a team because I'm not sure he's going to play. But let's bring Johnny Russell up, and then the other midfielder. Let's go Medina. If I can find him. Boom. And let's go Captain Russell. So I have now ordered the D4. I've done a lot more surgery on stream, guys, than I normally do. I'm not really a big fan of the last minute changes, but I feel like I've just, and then we put Sangera into D4. That's not really exciting, is it? See, having that Cabral in there, maybe that's why I had Cabral in there, because that was the best. I think that's what I did that for. Because that was the best, like D3, I think. And who was up here before him? Medina. So if I take Cabral out, it'd be good if I could just filter this as super rare, because that's all I'm looking for. Or is there a cheeky rare I could put? Did I put Sangara up here? No, because then no. I was thinking, did I put Cabral up here? But then I'm displacing the Medina. I think I bring in. I think I'm just fucking about this a bit too much, man. You're going to check out the reward pool for what you can win? Yeah, I will do that. You notice your Ike Ugbo has selected teams there. I hope he does go to Genk. So one of 100 I've got as well, would you believe it? So I hope he goes. That would be sweet. Good news from Champions League qualifiers, and all 6 teams are guaranteed continued utility as play each other. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I didn't really thought about that when I was posting earlier on. Again, I did see the responses. I've not got a chance to go back to them. It is good that, you know, they can't really lose, and I suppose by them being matched up, we are kind of protected that there's not another team that comes in that's not licensed and just knocks us out. So I guess that is nice, actually. Maybe that's something we want to see happen. So yeah, I can get behind that. Oh, I'm in a pickle, guys. I'm in a pickle. I think that's undoubtedly the strongest D2. But in the strongest D3, like, I think that's pretty strong. But I'd rather have Sangara up here than Russell. I know that's not possible because I've doubled up in midfield already. And I say the Eric Lopez, and I just don't have super rares anywhere else. So I think Sangara's got a big score in him. I really do. I think that is a better play than, yeah, I do think that is a better play for D3. It's just putting Sangara in D4 seems a wee bit shite, you know. Like for Sangara, you know, like maybe I'll buff this team up a wee bit more to go for it, because the global pool is looking good. So I'd probably say Segura's definitely a better pick, and then Eli, would I drop him? Would I drop him for anyone? I think Kansas have got a good game, don't they? Yeah, San Jose at home. Eli will get the ball plenty. Parks, nah. Morgan, nah. Sands is away. Atencio, nah. Gadi Kinda, I don't think it's back yet. Yeah, okay, I think this is what we'll run with. And a Jetty. So it was between, for me, up front, between a Jetty and Falcao. I'm just not that confident Galatasaray will do well against PSV. And I do want to get a Jetty on the pitch. And I'm going to make a Jetty captain, so if Celtic score, I can, and if a Jetty scores, I can be double buzzing, you know. And then we'll throw out the the D3 we had for Champion America. We'll just reconstruct that again with the Wanyama and the Eric Lopez. So Barraza, Mensah, is he the best defender we've got left? So we've got Mensah, Farfan. Yeah, I think I already deduced that. That's why those cards were previously picked. So we're looking for Big Vic, and then we're looking for wee Eric, and then the final card. Yeah, it's Toy, Mason Toy. Good. Okay, I think that's kind of what we had here anyway, wasn't it? Captain Toy. Sorted. So I don't think I actually changed much, did I? Maybe I did. So in the club, guys, I think I said I'll touch on this as well. And I think we'll be looking now, guys. I must say, John goes on about this whole following stuff, right? And I was like, oh yeah, that's good, whatever. And that kind of follower's been going up a wee bit. And I'm like, that's interesting. And I look at John. John's got like 50 more. There can't be 50 more of you that want to follow John on SoRare than me. Come on, guys, we are lagging behind. If you're on SoRare, BarcaLomond is it's the biggest club. It's the biggest SoRare club in all of Scotland, you know, or all of Glasgow at the very least. You know, you've got to be giving us a follow. I've went out this weekend, guys. I pulled off some amazing trades. Like, I've done some buys as well. I mentioned so you know about the Cameron Harper from the last stream. I'd mentioned the Jesse Moulin earlier on in the stream. Really pleased with that bit of business. I'm really excited for that. But guys, I picked up a super rare Sebastian Lletget, and I cannot say enough how pleased I am to have got this. I'd kind of wrote it off, and I thought with his recent scores that he got with the 70s and whatever, I thought the cheap auctions that he had earlier on wouldn't return. I'm not saying this is necessarily cheap, but for me, like, I hold this guy in the same level of prestige in my gallery as I would you know, any other super rare midfielder you see me really gawking over, whether it be like a Forgan Hazard or a, you know, Leon Goretzka, or, you know, guys like that. I think he's this type of midfielder, and I'm so excited for him. I also went and picked up a midfield issue Max Phillip, or Maximilian Phillip, from his time at Dynamo Moscow. He's been playing number 10 for Wolfsburg. My boy Lucas Nemeka has just went to Wolfsburg, and I noticed this guy was getting more minutes towards the end of the season and doing well, and they're in Champions League. And I really liked Max Phillip in FIFA like 4 seasons ago when he was at Dortmund. They get a Champions League issue card, and I had a lot of fun with that. And he didn't really cost that much, 0.09 for a limited print, who is in the Champions League this year, who's a midfielder, which is, for me, like when I did the depth chart, goal scoring, decisive, contributing, potential midfielders was something I was late on, and to get one that I think has that potential, who is, yeah, he's not under 23, but I don't give a rat's ass, for 0.09, I thought that was a bargain, and I was more than happy to swoop that up. But the masterpiece of the weekend, guys, is this Kevin Trapp. Now let me tell you, actually let me show you. I had, there's a guy that, you guys might remember this, right? I've done a poll on Twitter ages ago. There was this account, and he was after my 1 of 100 Chris Richards, and what was it he offered me? He offered me like an Odegaard as a straight swap, and I knocked it back. He offered me an Alaba and some ETH. He gave me like 4 really good offers, like within a day or two of each other, and I knocked them all back. And I put a Twitter poll like saying, "Oh, would you accept this?" and whatever. And I kept him. I've still got him, of course. And everyone said, "Oh, I'd have swapped him for Odegaard, or I'd have swapped him for this, or I'd have swapped him for that, whatever." But anyway, he always pesters me for a 1 of 100. What do you call him? Seb Berhalter. I've also got 1 of 100. I've got a bunch. I think before I did this trade, I think I have like about 25, 28 1 of 100s or 1-offs at least anyway. So I have this Seb Berhalter that he always kind of tries to harass me for. I then also gave him the Andre Jassin that I recently picked up, and was actually, so I'll show you the Berhalter. I'd sent him over as 1 of 100. I had this from the very first day of MLS. He's never entered he has entered SO5 for me once actually, quite recently, since he's been at Austin. It's a good looking card. I'm sorry to see him go. It cost me a grand total of £24.95. So I was able to trade that along with the Jassin. It was a brand new card to the club. It was the only 1 of 100 that I really got this new season on MLS, and it's an NYC card, and he had some good hype in the off season, and that cost me $228, which was quite expensive, you know. So what we at now, $250. And then I also got a 1 of 100 Jacob Green. Now, I heard this guy through podcasts and stuff like that, but he's actually on loan this season in the USL. He's not even, he won't feature for DC this season at all. And I'm not like, oh yeah, I need to keep him or whatever. He might be Kevin Paredes next season, you know, because Kevin Paredes he didn't go out on loan necessarily, but he didn't do much last season, but is this season. And he cost me £47, so what are we at, £300 all in. So I traded the 3 of them. Got myself a Ben Davies super rare. Now the reason I done that is I've been reading articles saying that Celtic were linked to him or whatever, and then I started thinking, oh, maybe I've done the trade and I was really happy with it, and I thought I really wanted a Kevin Trapp. I really wanted a Kevin Trapp. As you've seen earlier on with the Mulan, I told you I sold the Clark for 0.15, bought the Mulan cheaper, so I had some excess ETH. I basically then listed Ben Davies for the exact amount I was missing from my balance, to go and afford the Kevin Trapp. So then listed the Davies, and then I got a wee DM from the biggest Liverpool fan in town after the one of course he is, you know, and I'm like, how did I not actually just go and reach out to him in the first place? I wish I'd done that. But anyway, he bought the card, I was buzzing, and then what I've managed to do with those 3 1 of 100s and the roundabout way that cost me £300 is go pick up a goalkeeper that cost me, you know, what it cost me in ethers, you can see it here, and that the current fiat terms would be £550. He then had his last 5 auctions go out before, they're not doing international cards again until the next international break, and then his next bunch of auctions all went more expensive than what I picked that one up for. And as you can see now, the prices went up a wee bit, 421, 0.4, 0.4, yeah, they all went 0.405. They all went just above where I'd got in, so that was a great trade. I'm so happy with that. The reason I'm so happy with that in particular is actually when PSG come on, this may sound stupid, right, but my first thought was, oh, I wish they come on in the summer so I could have got a Kevin Trapp before they let him go to Frankfurt. And Frankfurt are in the Europa League this year, they're straight into the group stages, he'll play every game. Frankfurt are decent. I've got a Kamada as well, you know, so I've got a wee bit of slice of action in there. Jovic might be there next year, again on loan. I'm not really sure what the script is with Jovic or Rebic for that matter. And there's always the other cards kind of floating about with Frankfurt that maybe don't spring to mind at the moment. I mean Eunice, the former Napoli boy, that's who it is. So I'm super happy to pick that up, and the fact I was able to turn in some 1 of 100s that I'd picked up over the last year and flip them into this through a nice kind of series of events and timings and whatever. I was buzzing like all day about this trade. I was like, I cannot believe I've just pulled that off. That was amazing. And it was more the fact that I didn't even think about Mark. He messaged me about it and I was like, oh yeah, of course he's going to want the one off. You know, of course he is. So yeah, so buzzing guys with some of the trades I've pulled off. Buy a position change. What? Buy a position change. Well, if you could do that, that would be cool, I suppose. Are you talking about the Max Phillip maybe? I don't want a forward, I want a guy like that as midfield, I think, because he can get decisives from a midfield spot. If you had to choose one for this game week, Pozuelo or Zelarayan for captain, if you're asking me, I'll tell you exactly what I've done, because they're in the same team, and I'm sure I did pick one of them as captain. I had that exact same conundrum. The wee bells went off for me in my wee head. I went with Captain Zella. That's the answer for you. John offered to follow folks back. Well, I'll follow you back if you want. It doesn't, you know, if that means anything. I do go through it every now and again and see, like, oh yeah, follow. I know that guy. Follow them. Do you think Eli will move back into mid? Yes, I do. I think Busio leaving is good for Eli in a big way. Quinn should follow members clubs. I definitely, yeah, I'll follow everyone in. I think I'm following a good bunch. I'm up to about 50 odd. Where did Schubert end up? He didn't even enter the depth chart, and when I do the redraft of it, he will be unlocking under 23 D4 for me, thankfully. So Schubert has been a fucking beastia card, by the way. See the Schubert, see the thing about him is he is the poster child for me. When I bought him, it was like, this guy could never play football for the rest of his career. I'm just never going to sell him. He's going to be a training goalkeeper, and that's all I ever expect of him. And I don't think I've ever listed him. I've never entered in negotiations with him. I paid £33 for him a year ago, and he's coming good, which I've never ever wanted, expected, hoped, prayed for, investigated, anything. He was always going to be he will always be here as a training goalkeeper no matter what. So the fact that he's going to get some action is brilliant. So I'm absolutely made up about that. I really am. Hey Quinny, just joined but watching from the beginning. Landed 7th in D3 U23s this week. Oh, well done. You were just behind me. I was 6th. Oh no, you were D3. I was D2. Sorry. Fantastic trades. Thank you, Misaki. That was in reference to you wanted to move Sangair. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, XMK. That's a shout, by the way. Imagine you could do that. It would be game buster, but that would add so many more complexities and nuances to SO5 strategy that I don't think anyone's ready for. That's a great idea. I love it. I really do. So yeah, so I think the club actually, since the depth chart video, I don't think I've actually really sold anything. I think I maybe selling a guy or two. I got some amazing offers in like yesterday, the day before, for like, yeah, a bid came in for an ETH and a half for Renato, just under an ETH and a half for Nemeka. Separate bids, separate people. Or well, those two were the same person, but they were separate bids. And then Van Osh, like a quarter of a coin. They all came in together, and I was looking at it. I was like, fucking hell, man! I've got like 3 ETH. I could just ooh, I could just press accept on all these, you know. Obviously, I rejected them all. I have listed the Renato for 2 ETH. The guy seems to be a decent sized account. If he wants a Renato, I guess I'd sell mine for 2 ETH. Hoodwink. Who did I follow? I'm trying to follow everyone as I can. Like, I go through. Okay, Hoodwink, you're not there. I go through this every so often, and I try and go and see, right, who do I recognise? See, you can see I'm following all these people here. I go, right, who do I recognise? And then I go, okay, SoRare. Hoodwink, there you are. Boom. Anyone else? Peachy, I recognise him. I think I recognise Waza. Rafe, I recognise. If I don't recognise you, get involved in the comments section somewhere. And then it does this sometimes, and then it just pisses me off, so it puts me back to the beginning. Yeah, see? Like, so I'm sorry. If you want me, if you're here, let me know. There we go, we got it moving again. I think I know that P is Jack P. I think I know Jack P. I think. I'm aware of background noise, guys, so I'm not going to hang around for too much longer. There's Chrissy. Davenstock. I definitely know Davenstock. I think I do anyway. Maybe I just recognise him from like Footstock or something. Nobody else is really jumping out at me here. Simo, is that you? Free Bentos? I think I know that guy. Oh, I've seen Big Methuselah. That's somebody I've definitely spoke to on Twitter. I love that account. I see when it does this, it pisses me off. Right, okay, I'll come back to it later. But anyhow, Connor R98, D-Mold 123. Got you, right, okay, so let's do it. D-Mold 123. Gotcha. Connor R98 with 2 N's. Love the pillow picture. Hinted, he's happy. No sauce. Oh, Stefan, you are no. Yeah, I was thinking you were talking about the Tavon, and I was like, oh, is that you, cheeky? And you've now confirmed it. No sauce is you, Stefan. The cheeky hoarder of the Tavon that you've got in your Hall of Fame just to bam me up. Am I going through everyone? Right, okay, let's do it. Shrew. Port Hill Shrew. I'm not going to do this much longer, guys. This will be the end of the stream. Shortly, I will be dropping on the end screen, and YouTube will be telling you some stuff that you might like to watch that I've made. If you've joined me live, thank you very much. Before you leave, please do like the video. It will mean a lot to me. I'll be dropping a Conference League video soon, and I've got a few other things that are ready to get popped out and made. The MA video went live earlier today, so if you're wanting to get stuck in with some more chat and action, that video's live on the channel. You can go check that out. The member stream, I think it's happening tomorrow. Check the community tab. The date is in there for you all to see. You get too many followers for the system, it just glitches. You just got me thinking of Rate My Club series. I'm not. I know Who was it that did that with Football Index? Was it Harry? Someone did that with Football Index, and to be honest with you, I'm not really like, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me, like doing an autopsy or something like that on somebody else's account on like a video or something for content. I don't know it. That maybe if you guys want it, I suppose I'd give it a shot. I don't. It doesn't feel like something I would enjoy doing, or something that I think. I don't know. It feels a wee bit. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. I don't know what the words are I'm looking for. It could work. Let me know, guys, what your thoughts are on that. Fito boy. Okay. I think I'm going to be catching you guys out. Fito. BY. It's not too cheeky to get mine too. Rascal. Aye, of course. Misaki. It's just Rascal, isn't it? Catch you later, Simon. Ev Nino, not sure what it does, but I'll follow in when it follows back. Right, okay, I'm going to get the last two that are here. So Ev Nino and Stonkmaster. Guys, thanks a lot for joining us. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one. Stonkmaster. Take care. Bye-bye.
Terrible.